Hello everyone, my name is Kylie Mingus, and for my final work product, I chose to focus on well-being and autism, specifically how we can better support neurodivergent individuals in achieving a good quality of life. Throughout this presentation, I'll be connecting ideas from multiple work products and class concepts, while focusing mainly on my article by Rodogno, Kraus Jensen, and Ashcroft about autism and the good life. For this project, I combined information from multiple articles and topics that we discussed throughout the semester. However, the article that shaped my findings the most was Rodogno et al. In 2016, which discusses how society defines well-being for autistic individuals. The article argues that traditional ideas of happiness and success are often based on neurotypical standards and may not accurately reflect what truly improves quality of life for people on the autism spectrum. So, what does the good life look like for people with ASD, and how do we support it? This is important because many interventions focus on making autistic individuals appear socially acceptable instead of asking whether those changes actually improve their well-being. The article encourages us to rethink how we define success, comfort, and fulfillment for neurodivergent individuals. The first major point is that well-being is not one-size-fits-all. Neurotypical standards are not universal, and what helps one person function may not help another. For example, behaviors like stimming, strict routines, or strong interests are often seen as unusual, but they can actually help autistic individuals emotionally regulate and feel safe. Stimming behaviors like rocking, humming, or fidgeting can reduce stress and sensory overload. Routines can create predictability and stability in situations that may otherwise feel overwhelming. Deep interest or comfort items can also provide emotional regulation and a sense of engagement. My chosen article emphasizes that autism requires a different perspective. Even if we do not fully understand the autistic experience, we can still respect autonomy, support interests, and create environments that make individuals feel accepted rather than judged. My second major point is that current autism research is still limited in many ways. A lot that we know about autism is based on neurotypical observations and assumptions instead of actual lived experiences of autistic individuals. Much of the public conversation around autism focuses on causes, symptoms, or deficits, instead of discussing how to improve long-term well-being and quality of life. Because autism is such a broad spectrum, there's no single experience that represents everyone. This article argues that we need more research focused on listening to autistic voices, understanding their experiences, and learning how to support independence and emotional well-being in ways that are meaningful to them. My third main point is the importance of individualized support. Autism is extremely complex, and every person on the spectrum has different strengths, needs, coping strategies, and communication styles. Because of this, we should never be approached with a one-size-fits-all mindset. Instead, we should focus on understanding each individual's emotions, interests, and personal experiences. The article explains that improving well-being means paying attention to what actually helps someone function comfortably in daily life, not just what looks socially acceptable from the outside. All this information begs the question, why does this matter? These ideas matter because they challenge harmful assumptions society often has about autism. People on the spectrum are capable of building relationships, having careers, gaining independence, and creating meaningful lives. Changing society's perspective can also improve research and treatment approaches. Instead of expecting autistic individuals to constantly mask their symptoms, we can help create coping strategies and routines to help them support themselves naturally. Overall, redefining well-being in a more inclusive way can help reduce stigma and improve the quality of life. My first main point as to why this matters is that we can create a better understanding of autism for society at large. All of my aforementioned points in this presentation lead us to the idea that we need to avoid the harmful assumptions that society has about ASD. People on the spectrum are capable of growing into highly functional people, with jobs, responsibilities, and interpersonal relationships like anyone else. If we continue encouraging this perspective, we can work to reverse the stigma. If we change the way that we, as a society, look at people on the spectrum, this can also help make tremendous strides in research to find inclusive ways to aid in equipping autistic individuals with the most beneficial tools to help them perform day-to-day tasks with as little escalation as possible. We can recreate the definition of well-being for neurodivergent individuals by guiding them in the direction of creating routines and coping strategies to supplement their daily lives so they can participate in society without the exhaustion of masking their autism. My second point is how this directly correlates with my future goals as a board-certified behavior analyst. This topic is especially important to me right now because I currently work as a registered behavior technician providing ABA therapy to children on the autism spectrum. ABA is very controversial, and through my experience, I've seen the difference between compliance-based ABA and assent-based ABA. Compliance-based approaches often focused on eliminating behaviors simply because they are seen as undesirable, which can force children to mask their emotions in natural regulation strategies. In contrast, assent-based ABA focuses more on the learner's goals, autonomy, and quality of life. I have personally seen how child-led approaches can improve motivation, emotional regulation, and independence much more effectively. As a future behavior analyst, my goal is not to make children appear normal, but to support them in ways that genuinely improve their life. This also connects to ethical practice in therapy and caretaking. Not every behavior needs to be changed simply because it looks different. A major question we should ask is whether a behavior is actually harmful or whether it is helping the person cope or regulate themselves. For example, stimming may look unusual to others, but it often serves as an important emotional purpose for autistic individuals. The more we respect individual needs and perspectives, the more effectively we can support autistic individuals throughout their lives. Connecting my research to class concepts. This topic connects closely to our class discussions about hedonic and eudaimonic well-being. Hedonic well-being focuses on happiness, pleasure, and comfort, while eudaimonic well-being focuses on more meaning, fulfillment, and personal growth. The article connects to both ideas, but it also challenges the idea that one universal model of well-being works for everyone. For some autistic individuals, well-being may come more from structure, routines, emotional safety, or deep interests rather than traditional expectations like social interaction or independence. So what makes my research credible? The article I used is a credible peer-reviewed source. It was published in the Journal of Medical Ethics, which is a well-established academic journal that uses formal peer review process. The article includes submission and acceptance dates, follows a structured academic format, and references other scholarly sources throughout. The authors are also affiliated with reputable universities, which supports their expertise on the topic. I use the same checklist for credibility that I used throughout all of my previous work products. Overall, this research shows that well-being is not the same for everyone, especially for individuals with autism. Instead of focusing on making people fit traditional standards, we should focus on understanding individual experiences and what truly improves quality of life. This topic is especially meaningful to me because it connects directly to my future career in behavior analysis and special education. It reinforced the importance of providing support that is ethical, individualized, and centered around the person rather than society's expectations. Attached here is my reference to the article, and thank you for listening.